Hello students, in this lecture I am going to discuss with you Natural Law School, which is the first school of jurisprudence. But before I start Natural Law School, it is very important for us to know what is the meaning of schools of law. Schools of law are nothing but different approaches to the study of law. Even some legal thinkers have also used the term theory instead of school. They are saying that these are the different theories of law which represent the development of law at different stages of time. The most important division of different schools of law is as follows. Basically, five types of schools of law are there. First is natural law school, second is analytical school, third is historical school, fourth is sociological school, and fifth is realist school of jurisprudence. If you want to get the brief introduction of these five schools of law, then you can go to my previous video on jurisprudence, in which I had given the brief introduction of these five schools of jurisprudence in the scope of jurisprudence. These schools of jurisprudence reflect the development of law at different stages of time. Now let us start. Natural Law School. In a natural law school, first of all, it is very important for us to know what is the meaning of natural law. Natural law has been known by different names by different jurists. For Stoics, natural law is the divine law, that is just divindum, which means that law is the command of God, which command of God is imposed upon men. So, according to Stoics, it is the divine law, which means that the command of the God is the law which is imposed upon men. For Cicero, natural law is the law of reason, which means that law is based on reason. If any law is not based on reason, that should be discarded and new law should be made, which must have the element of reason, which must be based on reason. If any law is not based on reason, that should be discarded. For Aristotle, natural law is not a written law. It is the unwritten law, jus non scriptum, which means law is not written on the pillar of the stone, but it is written in the heart of men. For Hooks, natural law is the eternal law, which means that law have been in existence from the commencement of the world. Eternal law means the law which is not made by man, but which was in existence from the commencement of the world for the regularization of the world. For some jurists, natural law is the universal or common law which have the universal validity. It is also known as jus commune or jus gentium. But for the modern jurist, natural law is the moral law which consists in the principles of morality, and every positive law should be based on morality. If any positive law do not have the element of morality, then that law should be discarded and new law should be made which have the principles of morality. The term natural law is derived from the Roman term jus naturale, which means that it is a system of law which is based on the fundamental ideas of right and wrong. The jurist who spotted the philosophy of natural law are known as naturalists. That means the jurists who support the philosophy of the natural law, that it must be based on the morality, it must be based on reason, that it is the law which is given by the God, that it is written in the heart, are naturalists. According to them, natural law is the unwritten body of law which is of a universal moral principles by which human conduct is governed in the society. Natural law is often used in different form to the positive law. Whereas natural law is the unwritten law. On the other hand, positive law is the written rules and regulations which is enacted by government. So natural law and positive law are different, but positive law must have the essentials of the natural law. In legal theory, in ancient Hindu society, Greek society, and Roman law society, natural law has always a primitive place while making the positive law. Natural law, as considered by its supporter, is that type of law which is inherent in the nature of man. It is very important. Natural law is inherent in the nature of man or society, and this law is independent of convention, legislation, or other institutional devices. That means to say, natural law is not necessarily that it was the outcome of convention, legislation, or other constitutional devices. It is the law which is given by the God. It is the law which is based on the reason, which is based on the morality, which is of the universal application. And this law is independent of any convention, legislation, or other institutional devices like Act, Constitution, etc. Natural law theory is a legal theory that recognizes law and morality as deeply connected to each other. That means to say, according to this theory, law must have the elements of morality. If the law has not the element of morality, that law should be disregarded. That law should be discarded, and it should not be enforceable to the society. Morality relates what is wrong and what is right. Natural law theory believes that human laws are defined by morality. Human law are defined by the morality and not by an authority figure like king or government. Natural law is mostly influenced by the religion. We will study in different periods that how the natural law was influenced by the religion. The central idea of this theory is that there is a higher law which is based on morality, against which validity of human law can be measured. According to this school of jurisprudence, if the law of legislation is not moral, then it is not the law. And how we can divide the natural law? Natural law can be broadly divided into four classes. First of all, in ancient theory, what was the meaning of natural law? In medieval theory, what was the role of the natural law? In Renaissance theory and in modern theory, we will discuss all the four categories of division of natural law in the next lectures. Thank you very much. If you like my video, then please subscribe my channel to get the next videos. And if you want to get the notes of my law lectures, then you can go to lawarticles2020.blogspot.com. Thank you very much.